There's a light on down the road tonight, in a town that's growing every day. New faces, new dreams, new stories to tell, but some things never fade away. Through the highs and the hard times, through the questions we all face, we're still neighbors, still believers, still finding our place. And every voice has a story, every heart has a song. When we listen to each other, we find where we belong. These are the voices of hope, rising up through the noise, from the streets and the small towns, from the dreams and the choices. We're stronger, we're together, one conversation at a time. These are the voices of hope. They're yours and they're mine.
From Violin to Beamsville, across Niagara skies, every person has a chapter, every struggle has a why.
We can build for tomorrow without forgetting where we've been. A community is more than buildings, it's the people living in them.
Every laugh and every lesson, every road that we have crossed.
When we share our stories openly, nothing good is ever lost. These are the voices of hope, rising up through the noise, from the streets and the small towns, from the dreams and the choices. We're stronger and we're together, one conversation at a time. These are the voices of hope, and they're yours and they're mine. So pull up a chair, tell us what you've seen, tell us what you've learned, tell us what you mean, because hope grows louder when it's shared out loud, and one voice becomes many when it joins the crowd. These are the voices of hope, rising up through the years, through the change and uncertainty, through the laughter and the tears. We're building something bigger, one conversation at a time. These are the voices of hope, and they're yours and they're mine. These are the voices of hope, and they're yours and they're mine. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome, good morning. Welcome back to Voices of Hope. I'm your host, Thomas Scott, with Village of Hope Niagara, and I'm very excited. This is week 2. It is very exciting. We got lots to talk about. When I announce my special guest, it's going to be a fun one. So get your coffee and get ready. But before we get into today's conversation, I just wanted to take a moment to address our food drive that happened last Saturday and how amazing it was. It was one of our best we've ever had. So, on behalf of Village Hope, I just wanted to say thank you to our volunteers, to the community, and a big thanks to everyone at Calvary. It was such a great day. We brought in so much, and it just went so smoothly. It was a great day. So, on behalf of Village Hope, thank you. Seeing people come together like that, whether it's volunteering, showing up to help, it really reminds us what community is all about. We talked about last week. It was just great to see everyone there. It meant a lot to us. Um, Events like that don't happen without people stepping up. So we couldn't have done it without all you. So big thank you to all the volunteers and the people who made that happen, who gave their time and their energy. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce today's guest. Today I'm joined by the one and only Dylan Hunt, our new store manager here at Village Hope Niagara. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
So Dylan, to give you all a little backstory on Dylan, he's been with us for just over 5 years now, and he's recently stepped into the leadership role, and being a big part of keeping things moving here. So, with that being said, I want to know, as your new role, stepping in as store manager, what is that? What's the change been like? That's a big change going from that's a big change going from what we were to what you are now. Tell me what that transition was like.
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of months getting into this role. I mean, having a lot more responsibility and going in the store and figuring out certain sales that you want to do, or kind of having a little more freedom to kind of choose the way the store goes. I had the opportunity to kind of get in there and go around Niagara and look at other thrift stores and kind of get some ideas of how they do things and what they do well and what they don't do well, and how we can improve at Village of Hope, because that's what we always want to do. And every avenue of the organization is just to continue to improve in what we do. So switched up little things in the store, with kids clothing. Now we have fill a bag sale every day for kids clothing.
Awesome.
Switched up the jewelry area a little bit and have it a little more open, and couple of sale ideas of our spin the wheel sale if anybody's had the opportunity to get in for one of those, and just growing and learning as I continue to experiment in this role.
And yeah, so then with that being said, whether it's reorganizing the store, which I think they may not see it, but you do that a few times a week, you rearrange the whole store. What has been the most rewarding but the most challenging part about that big transition?
Yeah, I think the rewarding part is just seeing the store improve, and seeing the income from the store continue to go up, and to keep having steady days. And of course, we always want the store to succeed, and just to be able to watch it go up and all that stuff's been great. And a challenging part, I think, is being able to get in there as much as I want. And you and I are still out on the road a lot of the time and doing pickups and deliveries and all that kind of stuff. So just being able to get in there and to organize and switch up clothes and all that kind of stuff, is a little bit challenging sometimes because we have a lot going on, but we find time to get it done.
Yeah, exactly. And like you, and I want to talk more about like how finding the time is harder, because recently we had our Easter egg hunt. We had the food drive I was just talking about. We have all these events coming up. We've had 2 food drives this year, Easter egg hunt. We're having our summer concert and all that. So it is a good balance between finding time, but also implementing, we have an event going on our park lot. How can the store benefit from the more people? And I know we have our Junk in the Trunk coming up, which is June 27th, everyone. Come out and shop this Saturday. I know I'm excited to see what you're doing in the store that day.
Yeah, I think we're keeping that as a little bit of surprise until the day comes, but I know we'll be having some Village of Hope tables out for Junk in Your Trunk as well, and keeping some stuff aside to put out that day. So I think we'll we'll keep it a little quiet for what's going on for the store that day so far,
Perfect.
but no, we'll definitely have something exciting happening that day.
Yeah. All right, everyone, you heard it. June 27th, the store, it's a surprise. So I like surprises. I'm excited. So I expect to see lots of people shopping in there. I'm sure whatever Dylan's cooking is going to be exciting. So then when you look at everything that's happened here, the events, the work, the support behind it all, what do you actually think what do you think actually makes it all work? Like what collective item or
Yeah, I think it's our team. I think we're surrounded by a great group of people that all have the same goal in mind as to what can we each individually do each day to make the other people's lives easier or to help us continue to grow. Everybody can help out in every other section. Like you help me in the store, I help you with some events and junk in your trunk and stuff like that. And always knowing that resources are available to us and help is always there. That's a big part of that. Nobody's really going through anything alone here. You can always call on our fellow coworkers or our volunteers are a huge deal and help us immensely with almost anything we ask for. So I think it's just being surrounded by really great people is what makes it worth it and makes it
absolutely.
easy to work.
Absolutely. And I think seeing our great team, especially our volunteers when they're working and they take a break in that bistro, um, we have a volunteer who always, whenever she's in 3 times a week, I think she always bakes fresh butter tarts and all that. Our volunteer Mary, who's amazing. But even the fact that on how clean you keep in that, it's such a welcoming area, which I think is such an improvement. The fridge is always stocked, so from what I've seen in the last 2 months, it's been such an improvement. It's just always exciting, like you said, with the wheel. Um, and I'm not gonna ask you to give us any more like hints at what's to come, what other of sales and that, but it's really exciting. I mean, like you said, we do furniture and we work 6 days a week.
Yeah.
How do you balance the working 6 days a week and doing all that heavy furniture? Like, what does your recovery look like on
Yeah.
day off?
Days off are usually pretty quiet, and it's the one day where we can actually get out and do something. So, like to spend the time playing cornhole, hanging out with some friends, and just kind of regrouping. I know we spend a lot of time here, so it's nice to go home after a night of work and kind of just hang out. I'm newly married, so I love spending time with my wife and hanging out with her and just kind of resetting, going on walks around Vineland there and going for a run, reading, just kind of mentally resetting at night to kind of get ready to go for the next day.
Yeah. So it sounds like you keep busy. So then you just mentioned you're newly married.
Yeah.
What's that? How's that change the Dylan from 2 months ago that was only engaged to now? What's life look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is the same. I mean, the relationship still feels, the same as it was before. Just being husband and wife now and getting used to wearing a ring is an adjustment. But yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, it's we've been together for over 6 years now, so we kind of know how each other work and all that kind of stuff. But finally getting the rings on was a big deal, and now it's starting to really plan our future and to figure out what we're gonna do with our lives and where we're gonna buy a house and all that fun stuff. So no, it's been really exciting, and it's been a good just over a month, I guess, month and a half.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm very lucky.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm sure a lot of you have had the privilege to meet his now wife, Nicole. She is amazing. She's here a lot. She helps out. Um, but definitely working 6 days a week and planning a wedding was probably pretty stressful for you. I'm sure you're
Yeah.
both glad that that's done and you can now relax a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a long process. We got engaged in February of last year, so it was around 13 months, 14 months until we got married. So it was a lot of planning, a lot of stuff going on, the stag and dough and caterer and all that kind of stuff. But once the day finally happened, it was nice to kind of take a breath
Yeah,
and relax a little more than what we have been.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we had a nice sit down for a coffee yesterday at after work. We worked Thursdays were open until 7, so once it was done, we actually all went and had a coffee, and we in our bistro, and then Dylan and Nicole they end up Dylan was taking that time at the end of the day. He mopped the whole store and spent a few hours cleaning. So he is a very hard worker. He's always working 6 days a week, cleaning store. I know personally, some days we come in and we're working 9 hour day, and we're doing 5 or 6 pickups, and by the end of it, we've lifted 5 or 6 couches and we're tired. Do you find it rewarding though, like the puzzle of organizing the store, figuring out where everything goes, making it fit?
Yeah, of course. I think it's deciding what goes in the store and what the prices are and all that kind of stuff is. Yeah, it is rewarding. I think it's we've been able to both continue to grow within this organization, and we've kind of grown up with it. I started here when it was my part-time college job in between classes and stuff like that, and as I continue to grow in life, we both continue to grow here. So it continues to be rewarding the more time we spend here, and figuring out the store and all that kind of stuff. And now having responsibility of my own is really really great. But yeah, I think rewarding parts is knowing that furniture is going to a good home, or we're dealing in the community with people that are wanting to give and to give to people that need it, and stuff like that have been really really good.
Absolutely. And that's it, even whether the furniture goes in the store or we deliver it to clients. I know we do that a few times a week. If we pick up a nice bed and a client needs one,
Yeah.
I personally find that very rewarding, knowing it's going to a good home and we're helping our clients. But even to just sit down, yesterday I had the privilege of sitting down with a client and just talk, and we were just talking about how their day was.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see them in the store with the coupons. If you want to talk a little bit about their store, the client coupons.
Coupons, yeah. Yeah, so all of our clients that get to go through our food bank get to go and do all their grocery shopping, but then we also give them coupons to spend on the store, and that can be for clothing and shoes and kind of bedding and that stuff, and whatever they need that can help them out and help them save a couple of dollars so they don't have to go and spend it elsewhere at Walmart or wherever else they do their shopping. But yeah, it gives them a way to shop a little bit and get things they need for their kids and for themselves, and to kind of help relieve maybe a little bit of stress of what we can do.
Absolutely. And even it's just, and I know the client I was with yesterday, they were talking about how their kids love thrift shopping,
Yeah.
and everyone does. So it gives them a sense of they still are able to shop and buy, oh, that's a nice pair of shoes or a nice shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
They get to go branch out and shop. But with talking about our thrift store, you mentioned earlier how you went to other thrift stores. Talk to me a little bit about that. What it was like seeing what other locations are like.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting because I mean, no real thrift store is really the same. They all do things different, and there are some things that they do really well, and then there's some things that you notice that they could improve on. So it's nice going in and kind of seeing what lane I would like to take our store in, and I think we do a great job of keeping it tidy and kind of putting things in the store that people want to buy,
Mhm.
and kind of trying to not get too overcrowded sometimes, and to make sure our quality of goods is to a standard that we're all happy with and that our shoppers are also happy to shop with. So yeah, it was a nice experience to go around and navigate certain other stores and to figure out what we can improve on, and what we already do really well.
Of course, yeah. And that's where it gets a lot of fun doing all that, because I know having I for you that was a great learning curve, because that was towards the start of you becoming the store manager. So
Yeah.
it's very exciting. And it's cool when you've implemented a lot of different ways. You had meetings with them, so you're taking photos of their store and you implemented a lot of things. Is that where the wheel came from?
No, the wheel was actually we just got a wheel donated in the store, and I thought that would be a pretty cool idea to kind of use it as an idea for a sale. Um, so yeah, it was kind of on a whim there, and I think we've done two of them already. One was just to try it out, and the other one was St. Patrick's Day. So I think there will be one in the near future here.
Yeah, perfect. And it's just, and how much is it to spin the wheel?
We did it as I'm pretty sure it was $1. It was $1 a spin. and then you could spin as many times as you wanted until you got a prize.
And what were the prizes like?
The big prize was 50% off of your purchase. We had a couple $20 coupons on there, $10 coupons, and $5 coupons that they were able to use on whatever they bought that day.
That's awesome. And yeah, if someone goes spends $30 and they get a $5 coupon, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It's different, and that's the thing. It's different, so it's a lot of fun and
Yeah.
a lot of excitement. Just it brings something different. We have our regulars that come in, and it's nice to see a variety, a change, random things. We do sales every now and again. I think we had a bag sale last week that people just loved, and the kids bag sale, which is great. And even for our clients, they love the sales too. It's just nice to bring a diverse sale range and fun activities. I know I'm excited for our summer. We have our fried bologna concert this summer.
Yeah.
I'm sure the store will be doing something special, so
Yeah, absolutely.
check that out. Now I'm curious. I was on my way to work. I was listening to something. I want to know your opinion. What do you think is going to happen with the hockey? The big talk of the area is the NHL series, the Stanley Cup. Who do you got?
I think after last night, I think I'll have to jump on the Hurricanes train there. I think they played a really great game last night, and that goalie Bussy, he's been playing unbelievable. So it's been a great series. I think we've been very lucky for the high caliber of hockey we get to watch.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I like my guy Seth Jarvis, so I think I'll go with the Hurricanes.
I know at Village Hope, there's always a lot of hockey talk with us and Jim or us and Joe. It's cool because everyone has a different favorite team. I know Jim is a Montreal Canadiens fan. We're Leaf fans. Joe's an Edmonton Oiler and Leafs fan. Everyone's a wide range. So there's been a lot of talk, especially because we're all talking about how we thought Vegas was just going to win. So it's been very exciting. Gives you something to do at night. I know I'm gonna watch the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get sad when hockey ends. But we got our Niagara River Lions for now, so
That's for sure.
they've been killing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's been. I know they got Khalil Ahmad back from overseas, so it'll be exciting to see how he figures stuff out and gets back into the lineup. But yeah, sports are always a big talk around here. I think that drives a lot of our community and talking to each other each morning about what's going on in the league or how the game went last night after drinking a coffee. It's just always nice to come in and have people chat about sports. So.
Oh, of course. I know one of my favorite things about Saturdays is we have a volunteer, Don, and he walks in and first thing he says every morning, he looks at us and he goes, "What about them Leafs?" And he just wants to talk. He could talk to you for hours about the Leafs, and it's just a nice icebreaker in the morning. It's always so fun. But especially with the River Lions, that's been a big talk. The Ice Dogs, they've been doing a lot of things, so it's cool to see the Niagara teams doing a lot of things. There's the Toronto Rock that just won. Out of Hamilton, they just won the cup.
Yeah.
So it's cool seeing there be a lot of talk at Village Hope about local teams. I know we had the privilege of talking with a higher up at the River Lions, and we're having a conversation on the court after their game, and just cool hearing about all the things they're doing, the new players coming out. We do a lot with them with their mascot, and it was cool seeing their new unveiling of Courtney, I think is their new mascot's name. That was awesome. But I had the privilege of going to their Heroes of the Game event, which had police and firemen out to celebrate them, which I thought was cool. I'm a big fan of the sports in our area and how they connect with not only us but the community themselves. So that's very exciting to see.
Yeah.
I know you're a big River Lions fan.
Yeah, I enjoy those games a lot for sure.
Yeah. And it's cool because seeing the River Lions, they come out to we did in the summer. We had the privilege of doing a basketball training camp with Kimball, which was very exciting. Now, I'm terrible at basketball, so I was not doing great, but it was a blast. It was just such an honor to be invited out to do a fundraiser with them and play some basketball. I know Dylan's good at basketball, so he enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
nice having a really close partnership with another organization that we can kind of both work together to do things. I know our night at the Riverlines is Christmas in July. I think it's July 18th, I think is the right date. But that will be a game where we're kind of working together with them to I think get some food as a little bit of a food drive for them. But yeah, it's really nice. They come out to a lot of our events, and everybody's excited to see them.
yeah, it's nice to see local sports just recognizing that there's more outside the arena, that there's a community they have to do. They always send their mascots out to our events. They were at our Easter egg hunt. And they come out, I think they come out to all our events. We had our open house last summer that they came out to.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see them supporting us as much as we probably support them too, watching their games. I think we've been at every single game this year so far.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll keep going because they're very exciting and they're very hip. But then I want you to talk a little bit about what you think, like with the work here, we have our events coming up, Junk in the Trunk. I want to know what event for you're most excited about. If you, off the top of your head, if you can think about them.
Yeah, I mean, we always have a quite busy summer with a lot of stuff going on. But I think I always enjoy the most is the annual summer concert. I think that one's nice to kind of get the community together, listen to some music, eat some food, have some wine for the guests, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's always kind of our summer big thing of making sure that like everything was worth it. Everything, the hot weather, all of that, to have the community all together and to enjoy time together and with people in the community, to just listen to some music and just kind of relax a little bit of when we can after all the setup and the
Of
busy day
course.
that we have there, is to just it's really nice to just kind of sit back and watch everybody enjoy their time.
Of course, because yeah, there's a lot of work to be done to set up the event. But once the event starts, it's done. It's set up. You carry on to ice cream and you bring ice cream, but even just going grabbing food. I think last year we had a nice barbecue going, so grab a hot dog, and I think we listened to Elvis for a while, which
Yeah.
was amazing. This year we have our fried bologna, which I've heard lots of great things about, so I'm very excited. Um, and the food I'm sure is going to be great as long as the music will be. Um, so going about that, talk about the events we've done and how it changes every year. We've had Elvis, we've had random bunch of variety of concerts and stuff. So you've been here for 5 years. I want to know what changes you've seen in the community. You've grown up here. What's changed since you were a kid to now?
Yeah, I think that kind of will kind of go off your conversation with Neil last week, but it's just the community's growing. So many more things are happening, and as you're saying, the houses down in Vineland there, and just the community is changing, and it is growing. And yeah, it's changed a lot. Like I think both you and I have both of our elementary school and high school as no longer. It's
Mhm.
growing up in the Vineland Public School, which was a great place to go to school. That has now closed. We were the last graduating class of Vineland Public, and then moving into BDSS, which now has closed as well for the bigger school in is it West Niagara?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, you see, everybody's growing and everything's getting a lot bigger, and yeah,
Yeah, definitely. It was always. I remember when they were closing Beams on. Everyone's like, "Oh, I went to school 40 years ago." I'm like, "I went here a year ago, and it's closing." It's definitely. I mean, the school in Vineland is great. But even growing up in this area, I remember when we were kids in Beamsville. There's that beautiful new arena, but before it was it was just a park, and they had soccer nets and an old arena. Um, so it's cool, but it's so different growing up seeing there used to be soccer fields, now there's just houses. Um, what do you think on of it all changing? Like, is it hard? Is it sad to see, or are you excited to see it, or?
it's a little bit of both, I guess. I mean, it seems like of what you knew from your childhood is kind of disappearing, and but obviously the area is growing, and that can be a good thing. So I think growth is usually a good thing. And watching our community do the same, as long as we continue to do it in the right way and keep that close knit community feeling, I think that's a positive.
Absolutely. Well, with it being summer and it is very warm out and very humid, the water parks are open, which is very cool.
Nice.
There's the public pool in Beamsville. There's one in Jordan. Few splash pads. I think those are cool, and I don't know personally. I've been driving by them, and they just always look packed. Looks like a lot of fun for the kids. I think that's a great thing the town has implemented. I really like that. Um, but even the sports area for kids, there's baseball diamonds everywhere going up, or soccer fields. I think the big areas of like fields of that we're talking about Beamsville, that big area soccer fields are gone, but they have them all over still. I think it's great. Playgrounds everywhere. Um, as much as the town is growing, it is
Yeah.
still so inclusive for kids.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what's coming. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, yeah,
lots to
absolutely.
come.
I mean, it gives kids a little more opportunity, as when we were growing up, at least for the Beamsville hockey organization, the Beamsville Blades, like they were an 8E double B level of hockey because of the town size, and now they've moved up to a double A center. So I mean, that gives kids a lot more opportunity to play higher level of hockey, and to kind of figure out where they stand in the Niagara region, and to be able to play against tougher competition. So
Yeah. So we've talked a lot on this podcast about you being at Village Hope for 5 years and being store manager. So then I want to dive into more about you. What would you? I want to know what your first job was and how did that impact you?
first job ever.
Yeah.
First job ever was at Cherry Avenue Farms. Just working the field, just making sure people are not breaking the branches, and make sure they're not littering and stuff like that.
Mm.
And then I worked at Jordan Valley Campground, cutting grass for a summer and all that kind of stuff. And then moved up to the Jordan Esso, and worked there for through high school.
Mhm.
And then I went off to school, and then ended up here.
Yeah, and that's amazing, and we're happy you've ended up here.
Yeah.
So then you're very embedded. I know your family's all grown up here, and your family all lives here. But then talking about that, and last week we were really getting in how the housing market and everything's so expensive. Do you see yourself staying in this area or having to move outside one day for affordability?
Yeah, I would love to stay. I love it here. I love the area. Growing up in Lincoln has always been something I've been proud of. But with the rising costs and all that kind of stuff, I don't know if it's feasible to do so.
Hmm.
So would love to. We'll definitely try to. It will just depend on what comes our way and if we can afford it.
Of course, and that's where it gets challenging for everyone our age. I want you to speak more to me on what you see the market looking like. It's going up, but with the houses, do you think it will go down? It will like stay, or will it rise the more houses come in Vineland?
Yeah. I mean, I'm no expert, so I really have no idea. But with a lot of houses going up, and I think it's bringing more people around the horseshoe closer to us, and people keep on moving down. So I mean, I would love for the prices to go down for my sake, but I don't know if they will, and or if that's a possibility.
For sure.
So I know we were talking today's a lot of talking about me and my new role. But for my stint here, you and I have mostly been doing the same kind of thing, and we've kind of branched off into our own avenues of being a part of Village of Hope now. Because before this, both our roles were logistics analyst, and now I've gone to store manager, and you've gone to community liaison. So to just switch a question up to you, how's that been for you? How have you felt about it all, and how are you doing in your new role?
It's very exciting. I love it, and anyone that knows me knows I'm a great talker, and I love to talk a lot. But in front of people has always been so nerve-wracking in school and all that. So now being in a position of having to do that has been very exciting and a great learning curve working with Cheryl and Joe. I've had the pleasure of speaking at a few schools that have done food drives for us or just want more or even company Christmas parties. That was awesome. I remember me and Joe were at one, and they were having an ugly Christmas sweater party. So that was a lot of fun. We're talking in front of them all, judging them on their sweaters. So it was
Yeah.
really cool. Do its new position, being more out in the community as the community liaison. Lot more to do, but a lot more responsibility. But I think it's been a lot more rewarding as
Yeah.
you've helped me a bunch too with Junk in the Trunk. Our second one is coming up, and this year we're we're getting better and we're doing bigger things. The longer we've been in these roles, now we have working with you, we're doing more food drives, we're doing a lot more events. So I personally, I'm very excited for what I've accomplished and what you've accomplished
Yeah.
and what we've accomplished together. I know last year we had our Junk in the Trunk and we did burgers and hot dogs. So for the second one, me and Dylan sat down and we went over a list of things that went great and things we want to change. So one of the things was me and Dylan came up with an idea, and he reached out, and we got some food trucks coming. So we got an ice cream truck and a chip wagon, which I think will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's going to be music at that event, but not only that, now we are very busy. We have the bike rodeo, which Neil was talking about.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of other events coming up, as everyone does. I know on Saturday, June 13th, which I think is tomorrow, is the official lemonade day in support of FACS, which is Family and Child Services. It is all about kids helping kids. All the lemonade stands are raising money for them, which I think is amazing. So June 13th, if you see a lemonade stand, go out. All across Niagara, there'll be lemonade to send for FACS for their summer camp, which is a great.
Yeah.
So please stop, stand, talk to them, and purchase some glasses of lemonade. I know on a hot day like tomorrow, I might be getting a few of those because
Sure.
it's getting up there. But also tomorrow is the Cave Springs Camp and Retreat. It's a free event for fun for the whole family. They are actually celebrating a monumentous occasion. It is their 75th year of Cave Springs Camp.
Wow.
So that is in Beamsville. It is a free open house. Fun for the whole family. It is 12 to 4, so that's tomorrow, 12 to 4. So there's lots going on in the community. I know me and you will be stopping at a few. I'm sure I'll be having a lot of fun. I'm sure you will be too.
Yeah.
But of course, with this being a podcast and that, we want to talk about our volunteers and the big impact. We've seen lot of new volunteers have joined us lately.
Yes.
What do you think on seeing how big Village Hope is getting with all our volunteers and the wide range? We now have a lot more people in the food bank, and what do you think on seeing the change or the
Yeah.
growth?
I think it's, again, with our organization growing and needing to, again, have the accommodations to grow with it, I think needing more volunteers is exactly where we're at. And being able to have people help us and continue our goals is one, it takes some relief off of us to have volunteers in the store, being able to work there and to be in the food bank and to make sure that the clients are treated well, and knowing that we have the trust in our volunteers to do so is a really, really great thing. They're why we function as well as we do. We can't do anything without our volunteers, so it's a very great, and we're quite blessed to have the volunteers that we have.
Well, exactly, and the volunteers are great. They all treat us like family. They
Yeah.
all ask how about our day is. I know they were all asking you about the wedding and that. And I think every single volunteer was asking you for photos, which was really awesome to see.
Yeah.
It's great to see not only as a community us coming together, but as a charity. All the volunteers, they're all so friendly and they're all friends with each other.
Yeah, it's
I know.
a personal relationship with each and every one of them. Like each day is a different day here. No 2 days are the same, but being able to see friendly faces and ask how they are, and they ask how you're doing, it's a real personable place that everybody cares about each other and cares how we're doing and what new life events are going on, and yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and the one that's where it is. I know when we do our volunteer meetings, we go around the room and all our 40 volunteers that are there, um, or more. We all go around, say their name, what day they volunteer, and then they're all sitting with people. Some they've never seen because some are new, and it's cool to just watch them all get together and talk, have a coffee, and always a lot of fun to see them coming together more and it building more relationships within the organization. It's really great to see. But as we're getting towards the time, again towards the latter half of the podcast,
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank you for sitting down with me today.
Of course.
Like I said, everyone come on out. We have so many events going on with Junk in the Trunk, the Lemonade, the Cave Springs Camp Open House, our concert, which get your tickets now. They're going quick. We only have limited amount for our summer concert for Fried Bologna. I think conversations like this are really important, not just for people to hear, but for people to get their voice out there. That is why we are called Voices of Hope. But it's good to see what goes on behind the scenes. Not a lot of people would know what it takes to be thrust in a spot of being a store manager or a community liaison, and how it changes so much. And even the help, going behind the scenes, hearing stories about our volunteers and everyone listening. But on behalf of me and Dylan, I'd like to say thank you for everyone listening. Thank you for joining for another podcast, another episode of Voices of Hope Niagara podcast. We appreciate the support. We've got a lot more conversations coming along the way. It takes a village, and we'll see you there.